climbing the Everest or going to the moon, everything starts with one step, simple step, right? So I think this is one of those things where one man's determination and the support of his lovely wife and family, so and the friends and the extended family of Bensalem group making this happen. So before we get into Srimad Bhagavatham and all that, I just want to see, so I want to see if we can do some invocation for the new auspicious beginning, right? Because this is a new beginning, isn't it? Remember the first time you came to USA, that was get out of your house. And that was a simple step, but it's a long journey with big things happening, right? Correct? So this is one of those journeys. And so I made a timeline. Is it projecting properly?
Yes.
Not distorted, right?
No.
Okay. Oh, I see.
They can see.
Okay. Well, for a first time, I think our technology challenges and all are, we have overcome, not too bad. But this is our first satsang on 12th August 2023. And I'm sure next stage there will be more satsangs, there will be more increased participation from the congregation. And Murali already has a dedicated core group. If you look at the people who cooked today, that is his core group, right? So we will have a more extended core group. Then look at the last stage. Bensalem Cultural Center will have their own building. Is that an impossible dream? I don't think so. What I don't know today is from 12th August 2023 to what that date is, when Lord Krishna wants that to happen. That's when it will happen. But along the way, we will have lots of obstacles. True? You will have a lot of resistance from, you don't know where. You will have politics. Does Hare Krishnas have politics? How about testing your faith? There will be several occasions where you will want to give it up and say, I don't want to do this. Right? What is that telling? What is that telling us when that happens?
Don't give up.
No, how much you want it. Krishna, you want to do something for Krishna, the Lord becomes obligated to you, right? You're doing some favor to a friend, and the friend becomes obligated to you. So when a devotee does something for the Lord, anything, it's a great good fortune to be able to do that, right? Correct? Mataji gets up at 3 in the morning and goes every Sunday to the temple to dress the deities at 5 o'clock, right? I mean, how many of us can do that?
Very empowering.
How many people can do that? It's not like there is no family, there's no cooking, there's no cleaning, there's no, all that stuff is there. But that is the determination and the faith will be tested. It's okay to do once or twice, but year after year, month after month, that's where the challenge is, right? So, I can bet you, if anybody has any doubt, this congregation, this Bensalem Cultural Center will have their own building. Whether in 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, I don't know. But it's not too long. I can bet you that. And so, in order to overcome the obstacles, who do you pray to? Krishna. But Krishna has so many forms. But what form do you pray? Only kids. What form do you pray for removing obstacles? No cheating. So Lord Narasimha is whom we pray to, right? So let's pray to Lord Narasimha. So repeat after me. Om Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jvalandam Sarvado Mukham Nrisimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityu Mrityum Namamyaham. 2 times. Om Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jvalandam Sarvado Mukham Nrisimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityu Mrityum Namamyaham. Om Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jvalandam Sarvado Mukham Nrisimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityu Mrityum Namamyaham. I'll just read the translation. I bow down to Lord Narasimha, who is ferocious and heroic like Lord Vishnu. He is burning from every side. He is terrific, auspicious, and the death of death personified. Right? So may Lord Narasimha protect our fearless leader, Murali, and the whole congregation, so we can have our dream come true and have our own place for the Bensalem Cultural Center. Right? Hari Bol. So before we go to Srimad Bhagavatham, let's recite the mantra for beginning the recital. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tadojayam Udirayed. Before reciting this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Naranarayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So did you notice Narayana unto Naranarayana? Anyone know where Naranarayana, the Murti of Naranarayana, is located? Badrinath. Badrinath. On the right hand side of, when you look at Lord Badri Vishal, on the rightmost side is Naranarayana. So we that's a whole discourse on itself. Let's go to the today's verse. This is our first time we are having the program here, right? And guess what the verse is? 1111. Is that a coincidence? is that I don't believe the universe has many coincidences. Did you know even a little grass leaf moving is determined by Krishna? Did you know that? You know that, right? Everything happens by Krishna's will. Any little thing, big thing, doesn't matter. Entire universe works according to his will. So, so there it is. Our first cultural center 1111. So please repeat after me. Purini bhuri karmani Shrodavyani vibhagashaham Adaha sadho atra yatsaram Samruddhyatya manishayam Bruhi bhadraya bhudanam Enatma suprasidadi Bhurini bhuri karmani Shrodavyani vibhagashaham Adha sadho atrayatsaram Samardhyatya panishayam Bruhi bhadraya bhudanam Enatma suprasidadi. Once more. Bhurini bhuri karmani Shrodavyani vibhagashaham Atha sadho atrayatsaram Samurdhatya manishayam Bruhi bhadraya bhudanam Enatma suprasidadi. Anyone want to try?
Bhurini bhuri karmani
Bhurini bhuri karmani
Savyani vibhagashah
Shrodavyani vibhagashaham
Sagotra yatsaram
Adha sadhu atrayatsaram
Manishaya
Samudhyatya manishayam
Kaya bhutanam
Ramaya bhudanam
Atma prasidati
Enatma suprasidadi. Bhurini bhuri karmani Shrodavyani vibhagashaham Atha sadhu atrayatsaram Samudhyatya manishayam Bruhi bhadraya bhudanam Enatma suprasidadi. Anyone else? You can.
Purini bhuri
Purini bhuri karmani Shrodavyani vibhagashah Adha sadhavatrayatsaram Samardhatya manishayam Bruhi bhadraya bhudanam Enatma suprasidadi. Okay. I'm going to skip the word by word and go directly to translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Jai. There are many varieties of scriptures, and in all of them, there are many prescribed duties which can be learned only after many years of study in their various divisions. Therefore, O sage, please select the essence of all these scriptures and explain it for the good of all living beings that by such instruction, their hearts may be fully satisfied. Now, we need to go to the purport by Srila Prabhupada. Atma or self is distinguished from matter and material elements. It is spiritual in constitution and that thus it is never satisfied by any amount of material planning. All scriptures and spiritual instructions are meant for the satisfaction of this self or Atma. There are many varieties of approaches which are recommended for different types of living beings in different times and at different places. Consequently, the numbers of revealed scriptures are innumerable. There are different methods and prescribed duties recommended in these various scriptures. Taking into consideration the fallen condition of the people in general in this age of Kali, the sages of Naimisharanyam suggested that Sri Shuddha Goswami relate the essence of all such scriptures, because in this age it's not possible for the fallen souls to understand and undergo all the lessons of all these various scriptures in a Varna and Ashrama system. The Varna and Ashrama society was considered to be the best institution for lifting the human beings to the spiritual platform. But due to Kali Yuga, it's not possible to execute the rules and regulations of these institutions. Nor is it possible for the people in general to completely sever relations with their families as the Varnashrama institution prescribes. The whole atmosphere is surcharged with opposition. And considering this, one can see that spiritual emancipation for the common man in this age is very difficult. The reason the sages presented this matter to Sri Shuddha Goswami is explained in the following verses. So let's okay. I'm not in my native habitat of computers and setup. There we go. Right. So if so Prabhuji, you have studied Vedas, right? No?
Learning.
You didn't do the or chanting and all that
Yes.
when you were a kid? For how many years?
Maybe 10 years.
10 years. And how many slogas did you learn?
But I don't remember anything.
You don't remember anything. Where is Sripati?
Totally out of touch.
Eh?
Totally out of touch.
Totally after that. Did you get beating if you missed something?
Yeah, all that sort of happens.
That all happened.
Yes.
Can you imagine getting beaten if you forget something? Can you? Getting beaten by your teacher? See? These kids have very easy.
Stand up on the bench.
Eh?
Stand up on the bench.
Yeah. The punishment in our school was sit with the girls.
Not allowed.
Huh?
Not allowed when I study. I should not sit with the girl.
No, it was a punishment, you know. So that was the punishment. Then I was stand on the bench, things like that. Anyway, it's totally foreign concept to our children. Tarun, you ever gotten beaten by your teacher? Okay, see? So, the scriptures, how many scriptures are there in Hinduism? Or in Vaishnava? How many are there?
Or Vedas.
For Vedas, that is just Vedas. So look at that. It's like an ocean, more than an ocean. There are 4 Vedas, then what's called a Brahmanas, Aranyakas, Vedangas, Upavedas, 108 Upanishads, Smridis, 18 Puranas, Idihasas, and just, I mean, it's immense number of books. If the Christians have it very easy, just one book. The Muslims have it just one easy, Quran, one book, right? And but for the Hindus, in even Vaishnavism, if you look at all the books, if you Google, it's you will go bananas to find how many are there. So just let's of all these, I mean, each one is a library. Just take one, 4 Vedas. If you take that, there are just the Vedas we are talking now, 3 Kandas. The devotees always talk about Karmis, Karma Kanda, etc., right? And Jnana Kanda, Upasana Kanda, 3 Kandas. And there are 6 Mimamsas divided in that way, what I have shown here. Then the Karma Kanda, so the goal of Karma Kanda is you do all that and you progress to the Jnana Kanda. And the goal of Jnana Kanda is you do all that, progress to Upasana Kanda. So that is a step by step thing. Karma Kanda are prescribed procedures, technical procedures in order to achieve specific goals. You want a good husband, you want a good wife, you want a good child, you want money, you want whatever. There are specific technical details of how to achieve that. And Karma Kanda goes all the way up to you want to become the king of the heavenly planet, Lord Indra. There are procedures for that. So Karma Kanda goes up to that. So these things are it has to be done correct. Mantras they have to be chanted correctly. Do you know how to chant mantras correctly? I can bet you do something in your home and a mantra and make something happen. You have Alexa at home? You have Google? Hey Google? You have that? You say, hey Google, turn on something? Huh? Okay, Google. All right. So that's our modern day 21st century mantra. See? It's Siri. That is his mantra. So what we are saying is we say something and something happens in the material world. Our frequency is recognized and it's taken as a command, and electric signals go and things happen, right? So imagine if you were connected to a supreme controller, central power station, which powers all the material elements. If you had that kind of connection, you say something, material universe obeys, right? This is what Munis, our Rishis, people like Durvasa, or they didn't have to say, hey Siri, or hey Google. They could incant a mantra and make things happen, good or bad. Because the material universe responds to those commands. Just like your hey Google or hi Google, okay Google, whatever. Just like it responds to your command, for the Munis, they were in tune with the material elements. Make sense? No? Too much? Does it make sense? You see the connection? That's the kind of power mantras had. And how you say it, you say, okay, good, it doesn't work, right? You have to say it clearly, right? Voice recognition. So, therefore, the mantras had to be chanted properly. So the sages are saying to Sudha Goswami, look, there are thousands of textbooks. Who has the time just to study one Veda? Your entire life is not enough. And what to speak about going through the different stages to Jnana Ganda and Upasana Ganda, and then, so it's not possible for us. We want everything in a capsule shape, easy. Right? We wanted something simple and easily doable. Because remember, Kali Yuga, last verse we found it is Manda, Sumanda. We are not, Kali Yuga people are not that intelligent, right? We are not that Manda Bhagya and distracted. Do we have distractions?
Always.
Always. But this is the ultimate Maya, World Wide Web. Actually, literally a web of Maya. Now, you cannot get away from, right? Whether for work or for family or talking to friends, whatever, you need this. But it can distract, fight open Facebook, 3 hours, I don't know where it went. Every time, anytime. I don't even remember. I was going to look up something, but I don't even remember what I was. This is, so in the last 10 years, since Steve Jobs stood there and inaugurated that iPhone, the Maya's grip on humanity. You go to little villages in Kerala, you find servants and people, even uneducated people, addicted to this thing. And they're watching serials, all kinds of things. As a teenager, I had to sneak under my uncle, who was an engineering student, to see something, something I shouldn't see, like a girl's picture or something. Can you imagine the possibilities for today's poor kids? %75% of internet traffic, do you know what it is? Entire worldwide, 75% of traffic through the internet is one thing. Anyone? Anyone? Any guess? Huh?
Social.
That's a very general term, but one topic, one category. Phone. 75%. The rest, everything, work, everything, banking, everything is 25. So the Maya's web has literally encroached every soul. Remember, we are souls, right? But knowing this doesn't make me escape from it, right? Because I have, as much in the web as everybody else. But when we call Maya's web, it's literally, I don't think it's a coincidence, it's called the World Wide Web. So So that is the situation of today. So Kali Yuga took an exponential leap after the introduction of this device, which has invaded everyone, irrespective whether you're a billionaire or a, poor, somebody. And there's some joke in Kerala, they have GPay now. Everything is done with GPay, Google Pay. They call it GPay. And you buy two rupees from some poor lady in the, they just do the GPay. It's amazing the extent of, there's no money transactions anymore. So there was a cartoon, like a joke. Some beggar said, somebody said, "Oh, I don't have any change on me." He said, "I'll take GPay." He pulled out his smartphone and said, "I'll take GPay." So, and it's not exaggeration, So that kind of distractions are there on top of 10, 15 years ago. How did we live? I knew every phone number. Now, if you ask me, my own daughter's phone number, I have to look it up. Isn't that true? Address, everything, right? I mean, our brains are outsourced to this device. And I have forgotten to take my phone and driven back 20 miles because I cannot exist without it. Isn't that? Anybody relate to that? So the point is, today we have so much distraction, and we are supposed to be thinking of who? Krishna, because everything else we do doesn't satisfy who we are, which is the soul, Atma. And the soul is only satisfied by hearing the glories of the Lord, satsang, things you are doing here in the Bensalem group. And for the sake of, why are you doing it? Why do you come to these programs?
To take association of devotees and hear some Krishna Katha from.
But what is the number one reason? Huh?
So, satisfaction of the soul. To feed the soul.
No, I'm checking something very practical material. That's understood the theory. But most people would say, I want my kids to be exposed to our culture. Isn't that the main reason? Isn't it true? Because back in India, you have joint families and you have temples and you have festivals and you have holidays, you have all kinds of stuff. Here, in this, it's like a desert, like a Sahara desert, and you don't have looking for water. The spiritual solace is when you come to association of others. That's the only way you can expose your children to the culture and to the spirituality, right? Isn't that the main reason you would come? No, the other things come secondary, right? Isn't that true? If you think about it, that is the truth. So the answer Sudha Goswami gave is, of all those 18 Puranas, the Amala Purana. Amala means no mala. Mala means contamination. Amala Purana is Srimad Bhagavatham. So that is the answer. That is the glories of the Supreme Lord when he came 5,000 years ago as the son of Vasudeva. And all other Puranas, all other Vedas, like you saw, they have tinge of either goodness, passion, or ignorance. Because if I'm doing something to get something back, Is that love of Godhead? I'm doing Ashwamedha Yajna or some other Yajna, and I want something for a specific purpose, right? Isn't it? You study to get good grades, isn't it? So you're doing something to get something. But when you take care of your son, as a mom's love is the closest to God's love. When a mother does something for the child, mother is not thinking that he will or she will grow up and thank me when they begin. They're not expecting anything. They're doing out of pure love. I don't think dads have that much thing. Dads may think, oh, at least I will get some respect, you know. And you are in for surprise. But the mom's love is totally pure and the closest to God's love. Isn't that true? Think about your own moms, right? Correct? You don't believe it, right? One day you will. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the Amala Purana, and in order to all other Puranas have tinges of material mode. We know we have to get above even goodness. Goodness is itself is very difficult to find these days, but even goodness we have to get above that. That is what the so Srimad Bhagavatam is the spotless Purana. Another most important thing for us, what is the essence of all the Upanishads? How many Upanishads are there? 108. What is the most essence of all the Upanishads? Anyone? You know. No? You know. Heard of Gita Upanishad? Bhagavad Gita, that is one of the Upanishads, Gita Upanishad. So Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, these are the two capsule, what you call concentrated essence of all these scriptures, thousands or tens of thousands of books. You know, that's the essence which people like us can hope to understand and practice, right? There is so some of us may think, so this is not too bad. I am in America. I have a decent life. Maybe next life I will come, may not be in New Jersey or Pennsylvania, maybe in Nebraska or somewhere. And so there is no guarantee, because our Purana says, Srimad Bhagavatam says, human life is to attain God, understand Krishna, develop love for Krishna. And when Mother Nature sees, okay, this guy was a larva before, then he was a bird, then he was a snake, then he was a pig, now he came to a human form, and he still doesn't get it, and he's wasting his life. What does Mother Nature do? Huh? Brahma said, but for individual souls, I'm talking. So individual souls, when you try to make something in the kitchen, a new recipe, it doesn't come out the way you wanted it or the way it is supposed to. You trash it and you start all over again, right? So if we think our human life is this and we don't try to do what we are supposed to do, Mother Nature, there's no guarantee you go back to larva, worm in some thing, and then back to life after life, evolve and evolve. So So you know about the 14 worlds, right? 14 logas. Bhuloga is where we are, right? Pennsylvania is in Bhuloga, right? Not Sorloga, correct? Is it in Brahmaloga? No. So we are in Bhuloga. That's like floor number 1. Then there are 6 more floors up to Brahmaloga. Then there is basement, 7 layers of basement. So we are here. And you could go in any one of these floors, any one of these 14 floors. Think of a building like this. To get out of it, the only way you have to come to that first floor, right? To get out of it. That's what human life is. In Bhuloga. Remember, any building, 7 floors up, 7 floors down. To get out, you have to come to that first floor, correct? That's where we are. We don't choose to come out. You could go anywhere and you could be any species. As far as nature is concerned, oh, you wanted to eat so much. Okay. Maybe human body is not the best. Let me make you a pig. Because pigs can eat unlimited. Right? Eating like a pig, you heard that.
No.
So some people are addicted to some things. So there are better bodies than human bodies to do that. You want to cheat. Okay, become a fox or a jackal, stuff like that. So this is what our Puranas say. So here is an opportunity, and we are being tested. What do we do with this human life? So on a Saturday, instead of being in this casino trying to gamble or watching Kim Kardashian, we are here. So I think we are Murali is facilitating us to do the right thing, right? Isn't it? I'm really grateful to him for giving me the opportunity to speak here. And I'm also grateful to his first choice, second choice, third choice, and fourth choice, because those people said no to him. So I got the opportunity. Thank you. He wanted to bring newly minted initiating gurus. So, here you had to listen to me. So I have 3 more minutes. So the trick, our scriptures give us is you live as in human society unattached to family affairs, although externally appearing very much attached. So externally you look like you are very much attached, but in your heart of hearts, you are not attached. And the example they give is, imagine a married woman. This, again, don't get me because of feminism or anything. I'm just repeating what I heard. A married woman, if she has an affair, if she has a lover, what would she do? Whom is she constantly thinking of? The love. Even when she is with her husband, she's thinking of the love. Or when is the next time I can meet him? So that should be our attitude with Krishna. Krishna is our lover, and we are constantly thinking about him. We are constantly looking for the next opportunity to serve him, to be with him, cook for him, whatever we can do. But externally, we are doing all the things, taking care of our kids, fighting with our spouse, and all the routine stuff we have to do, right? Correct? So that is the example of given. You be in the world, but not be. It's easily said, but very difficult, right? Especially with the distractions and all the nonsense we have to put up with, earn a living, satisfy people who expect things from around us. Correct? So that is the secret our acharyas have given us. But trying to do that and getting better at it, because the wife who has other lover other than the husband will make sure everything is done perfectly, so nobody will suspect her. Right? So that is the way we should cater to our dear Lord and develop that attachment. When you get first married, you are not necessarily too much in deep love if you are in an arranged marriage, right? If you are in a love marriage, that's different. But in an arranged marriage, you are not quite deep love, right? But over time, you learn to love your spouse, isn't it? Correct? True? So in the same way, we can learn to love the Lord. Initially, we may not have the taste for it. But by practice, take it till you make it. By practice, we learn to love Him. And we learn to serve Him. So, I'm again deeply grateful for all of your association, fantastic devotees, and really feel like coming to an extended family when I come to Bensalem and see all of you. And our fearless leader, Murali, I wish him all the best and all success in making his vision of Bensalem Cultural Center a reality soon. And let's say Haribol to him. Haribol! Haribol! No, but everything needs one person to take the leadership, right? And a supporting wife behind him. So, kudos to Kalamada ji, Haribol to her. Haribol. Questions?
Things are reflected.
Or realizations, comments, objections? Anyone?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Use this.
So,
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
It's very, it's not just listening to the Vedas or even the purport and translation. It's like how much we apply and how that takes into our consciousness. So we always admire the way you give the analogies. And my one reflection is that 7th floor and ground floor. It's like, oh my God. And the attachment that you said, it's like, yes, that's every day. That's how we think back. Okay, what am I doing? And okay, I'm cooking. What next? Then no agitation. So that should be our constant consciousness. And thanks to Srila Prabhupada for all this arrangement.
Haribol, we totally.
Ever in the day.
I don't think we can ever repay what Srila Prabhupada has done.
Thank you, Prince.
Oh, thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, the only thing that I'm in this class is that the human life is meant for us to get to go to Krishna, and so we should try, or else we can go back down to what we were before.
Yep, good. You made my day, Brady. What did you learn?
That we're so fortunate that like Krishna has shown us mercy to come into Krishna consciousness.
Haribol.
Haribol.
Haribol. That's awesome. You have reflection.
Which I learned is that there's like the example of the floors. I really like that because it explains how we get from here to there and what we do. And another thing I learned is that there's different types of bodies for what you want to do based on your pastime.
Yep. Haribol.
Amol Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, bro. Thank you for this nice class. I like your example of wife having another affair and how we can constantly think of Krishna in other ways. I heard a similar analogy how mother takes care of a child. Even if she is in kitchen, but she always know what his boy or kids is doing, and whenever he is out of control, he just come back, take care of, and goes back to his work. So similarly, while performing our duties, we can always think of Krishna, and whenever we get more chance or whenever we have good opportunity, association of devotee by coming to such a Bhakti Vriksha program, reading the realized souls. So that's what I learned.
Haribol. Very nice.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you.
1 minute before that. So only who shares their reflection, they get the prasadam. Okay, so it's mandatory that everybody should share 1 point because everybody attended. So that make sure that we attend attentively. So that's the condition. So there's no choice. If we don't know reflection, no prasadam.
The first one in the line.
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisance.
My obeisance.
Prabhuji, this is based on what I have heard from my superiors. That when you said that, it's where you have to remain attached on the outside and on the inside you remain detached. But this is what I heard from my superiors that, whenever you are planning when you are entering into Grihastha or when you are making an entry, I mean, if you are into Krishna consciousness, make plans for the exit as well. When there is an entry, there has to be an exit. So exit means it's not that you stop doing your duty. At a certain point, done with your duties as a Grihastha. Even in their old age, they are involved in the son's Grihastha, daughter's Grihastha, grandchildren's Grihastha. I mean, that's now their Grihastha. Now I'm done with my Grihastha, it is now their Grihastha. So stay in the background, bless them, but then start attaching yourself to your devotional practices. That will make your exit very, very easy.
This is why in the purport, Srila Prabhupada talks about that Varnashrama.
Yes, Varnashrama.
After certain age. So when I was 50, the 60-year-old guy was old. When I became 60, I think, oh, 70 is old.
I know. I know. 50, I think you should start thinking that they have to start preparing mentally, not
Exactly. So age,
Vanaprastha.
age is a relative thing.
Yes.
Like when our daughter was 6 years old, she told my wife, "Mom, you're 28, you're old." So from her perspective, that's old.
Yes, that's
So same way, so we have to, if we don't, nature will make us
Make us
realize
do
in a
very
bad,
bad. Exactly.
right? So,
Yes.
so the Varnashrama system is extremely scientific.
Yes.
If you think about it. Grihastha, Vanaprastha, you have to learn to let go.
Yes.
And it's easily said, very
It's
difficult
just
to do.
not letting go of your family, letting go of if somebody commented on you, if somebody has not been nice to you.
Yeah.
Or, just let go. I mean, let Krishna take care of that. If you kind of cultivate consciously, it's not that you won't feel bad, but if you cultivate that, I think it makes a lot easier.
Absolutely, Mataji. But I know all the theory, but I'm like Duryodhana. You know what?
We are
You know what Duryodhana said?
Cannot practice.
You know what Duryodhana said? Janami dharma najame pravarti. Janyami adharmam najame nivarti. Janami dharmam. I know what is right.
Right, yeah.
Najame pravarti. I cannot do it. Janyami adharmam. I know what is wrong. Najame nivarti. I cannot stop doing it. So this is what Duryodhana said. So, knowing the theory is one thing,
Yes.
putting it into practice, when somebody tells you, hey, Dad, what you arranged was a disaster, that truly hurts. And then I remember, oh, I did similar things to my dad.
Yeah.
So the nature is coming around. Karma is, there's a karma.
What goes around
What goes around comes around. So, what we did to our parents, we get it back with compound interest. So, very true, Mataji. There were some WhatsApp going around which said after age 60, these are the things people should do. Let your children lead their life. Don't commit to taking care of your grandchildren 24/7.
Yes.
Do not, once you did your dharma, let go. But I know some really amazing devotees who can practice it.
Oh, yeah.
I live with one of them.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
but I'm not able to practice it as much as she can.
Guess that.
Very, very nice
Thank you,
reflection.
Prabhuji. Thank you so much. It's how Srila Prabhupada, his purpose, and is wonderful. So that's what keeps inspiring us, and devotees like yourself, your association is the ultimate that inspires all of us. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. You have led your grihastha, and now how nicely you are into Krishna consciousness. That's an inspiration to all of us.
It's a facade, Mataji. You don't know the demon inside. Interesting things that are in my interest. So one of the things, again, I haven't practiced it. I've been totally honest with you, Prabhuji. I will chant 5 rounds if I exceed X number of hours. If I do this thing, I will chant X number of rounds.
Then you're always chanting all day.
Then, as I said, again, good in theory, the Duryodhana principles. But there are actually now camps where they give you digital detox. Like Alcoholics Anonymous, people who have a drinking problem, there are camps to get them out of it, treatment programs. There are digital detox programs, believe it or not, tech-free kind of thing. Tech-free. There are Ayurvedic centers in Kerala where when you check in for a month, you have to surrender yourself. So those things are there. It's now, imagine, I can't imagine with these kids when they grow up, what kind of, we got introduced only 10, 15 years ago. People who grew up with this, imagine. So I don't have a magic formula, Prabhuji, but setting times for yourself and having that discipline, I'm not qualified to talk about it because I'm off and on. Some days I do it, some days that I sleep. I'm very human. Thank you, Prabhuji.
How to control your mind. That is the best thing, because we all are now talking about so many different things, but mind is the one thing that will raise the game, right? Mind is the one who kind of keeps on constantly telling us do this, do that. Distraction. So Srila Prabhupada was telling how to control, of course, like my Guru Maharaj also was telling Jaganath Maharaj, that a tiger can be tamed. How do you tame a tiger? Because when you bring that tiger to the circus, what you do is you stop giving him food. First day, second day, he will show you teeth and be like, to attack you, everything. Slowly, then he will lose all his power, right? And then it is easy for you to train that. That is how we do all these austerities, right? For example, now Purushottam Mass is going on. So you take the vow, okay, I'll eat only once. Maybe 1 day, 2 days, it's difficult. Then you will get used to it. Why we do that? Just to control our mind. So exactly for your cell phone, this and that, don't go too hard on that. But let's say you have addiction, you are on the phone for 5 hours, then put a time that, okay, today for 10 minutes, I'm not going to look at my phone. Let my phone be there, I will do it. If you can do that for 10 minutes, then you are kind of controlling your mind slowly. Then you can say anything to your mind. So I was listening to a Maharaj class in Atlanta. He very nicely said that mind is like your child. Like a mother takes care of the child. If you tell them so nicely, don't do this, don't do that, they listen to you. So mind is like your child. So whenever you are chanting, your mind will be distracting you, telling you so many different things. First round done, second round, oh, at 6 o'clock, so what I have to do? So Maharaj was telling, you tell your mind, right now it is chanting time. Let's chant. After a while, we will think about the other things. So Maharaj said, you will see, your mind will listen to you because your mind is your child. Take care of your mind will take care of you. So then very nicely, another class I was listening, it was told in that class that we go around and we have the power to take care of other people. Like let's say Mataji is now very sad. I have the power to come and say, hey, what happened, Mataji? That's okay, let it go. Come, let's go and have go chat or something like that. How many times a day we take time and sit down with us and to talk ourselves that thank you my mind, thank you my body for allowing me to do service for Krishna. Or thank you today for allowing me to stay away of the phone for 10 minutes, right? So they were saying that if you don't spend time with someone, even of your family, when you need them, will they be for you there? They will not be there for you, right? Because you never spend time with them. Same thing when if we spend time with ourselves, when we need our mind to help us, mind will be there. But we do not get that time to spend with ourselves.
That's what Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj said. You have to beat your mind.
Yes.
With a broomstick. How many times a day? And in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna asks to the Lord, oh God, oh Lord, you are asking me to control the mind. The mind is like a wind. How do I control it, right? Remember that words?
Yes.
So, anyone remember the words? Chanchalam hi mana. So the abhyasena vairagyena. That's what Mataji is saying. Abhyasena, by practice, and vairagyena. Yeah. So, again, we have our work cut out for us.
There was a seminar, Prabhuji, they were talking about how to control your mind. You can do your own exercise. Set up like 5 minutes a day. You tell your mind what to do. Like a simple thing. Get out of the bed, go to the left, go to the right, do whatever your housework wants. And you see, if you are telling your mind go left and you are visualizing that you are already in the car, that means your mind is running too fast. Do that every day, like 5-10 minutes, give directions to your mind, and then you will see that how to control. So that is the only thing we all need to do. But at the end of the day, we all forget that we are the soul. We are always in bodily conscious, right? Like Prabhu was telling, somebody tells something, it hurts me. It hurts because we see each other as a body, not as a soul. If we see each other as a soul, then it is easy. But again, to see that is the art, how to see that. So Srila Prabhupada was telling in one lecture, he was telling, keep on telling to yourself, I'm a soul, I'm a soul. And then he gave an example that we are part and parcel of Krishna. We always tell that. So your finger is part and parcel of your body. And if it is amputated, what use of that? But it is still with you. If something happens, you are ready to spend millions of dollars to fix it. Once it is amputated, it's gone. So if we leave Krishna, then there is no value of our life. There is no value, right? As long as we are connected with him, then the value of your life is there. So very good examples he gives, like a very practical example when you hear that, oh yeah, that makes so much of sense.
And the constant reminding. That helps. Having association of people like this who can tell us or remind us. It's not that we didn't know that. We need constant repetition.
Because we forget, right? If there is a doctor in this, someone is doctor and he forgot he's a doctor. No matter how sick you are, that he's not going to get up and come and treat you. Somebody has to remind, hey, come on, you are a doctor. Go, Mataji, go, treat it. If we forget, same thing, if we forget what is our real nature, then we can never do anything. Somebody has to constantly tell us, hey, you are a pure soul. Hey, come on, you are a child of Krishna. Like, be attached with it. So that is what we just have to tell us constantly.
Very nice, Mataji. Very nice realization.
One more input on what you told, Mataji. It's like when you said that, your addiction to the phone. That's what I typically, many lectures I hear this. But if you use the phone, exactly. If you're addicted, start a class. While you're working, just hear a class. Hear some kirtan. There are like thousands, not even hundreds. And there are so many classes. If you see the topics, it's like eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Okay, what do I hear this? Do I hear this? Do I hear that? The topics are wonderful. So I mean,
no, but that answer was for someone who is
thinking
that
wasting. Yeah, that's true.
If somebody is on phone and just utilizing it for Krishna's consciousness.
Yeah, that's so putting everything in use for Krishna consciousness, anything material, technical, or whatever. This.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mataji, that's how I start. 4 hours later, nothing to do with Krishna.
That's what happens. But that is when you train your mind, right? Then coming back.
Okay.
So the Bhagavatham was telling one person asked that when I'm chanting, I'm
Speak to them.
Online they can't hear.
He was telling that while chanting, if your mind is sitting there, he said, chant loudly. Go Ranga.
Go Ranga.
Then again you keep on doing. So that's what, like, when you are sitting and you are gone somewhere, you will definitely know I'm derailed now, right? This is not where I started. bring yourself back. Like, that is.
Yeah.
We all do that. We all miss our exit, but that doesn't mean that we'll keep on going on that exit, right? We have to turn around to come where we started.
Correct.
So there is chance. Not this lifetime, some other lifetime. But Once you are here means you are going to go to Krishna, not this lifetime, some other lifetime.
Very well.
There are some,
Murli, we have to get out of here at what time?
no, we are okay.
We are okay?
We are okay. Today is exception, Thursday.
Okay.
There are some online devotees they want to share.
Okay, please.
Okay, so Hare Krishna online devotees, who wants to go first? Haribol, you can unmute yourself. There are 6 devotees.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavas Pranams, all Guru Shishila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Congratulations for the first satsang at the Cultural Center, Prabhuji, Hari Bol. And thank you for taking this initiative, Prabhu, and bringing everybody together in Bensalem. And thank you to Prabhuji, who gave beautiful class with lot of practical examples, Prabhu, which we can implement in our day-to-day life for sure. So it was not like we were reading Bhagavatam, like scripture, just the shloka and the purport, but you gave us like the essence from that, what we should do, how we can do it every day in our daily activities. So my takeaway is, like you mentioned, that we will have lot of obstacles in our devotional service. So we have to cling on to Narsimadev so he can remove our obstacles, as well as Maya. Maya would definitely test us in every step to check like how much faith we have, So when Maya is so strong, we have to be even more stronger and build up our Krishna consciousness and stay tight with all these classes and association. And thank you so much, Prabhu. Really, thank you.
Thank you, Mother. And your name is?
Suvarnangi Shyama Devi Dasi, Prabhuji.
She is from Atlanta. She is Shravanti Mataji.
Oh, Shravanti, our Shravanti. Nice, Mother. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Very good.
And thank you to Sanjay Prabhu too for giving us this center. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So Sanjay Prabhu and Muralidhar Keshav Prabhu also, because he took the initiative.
Yes, Prabhu, definitely. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Anyone else online? One, two, three. Okay. Hare Krishna, that's all.
Just one line, like the way you said it, the floors. What I learned is you need to be grateful to be having a human life and need to take advantage of that.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, Prabhu.
Raj Pathak Prabhu. Makadia Prabhu.
They have too much to say, so that they are not able to summarize it.
Hey. Kirtida.
I learned that we should not waste this life because it's been like many lifetimes since we were animals to get to human life, so we should not like waste it by doing material activities.
Haribol.
Hari
Jai.
While listening to the class, I was just thinking that there are so many, like hundreds of things what we want to fix, like to be spiritual every day. But if you take one step at a time, like saying, just fix one thing, this month I want to do this. And if you can focus on that, it is easy because that gets like a habit to us in that 1 month. And then the next month we can work on a different thing. So that way it is easy for us to grow spiritually. Like 1 year, when we look back, after 1 year, when we look back, we would have improved on so many things instead of getting lost every day, like, having
hundreds of things on our agenda and not being able to cope with that. That's how I see this.
Make it bite size.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What we
take
can.
small baby steps. Yeah, the very nice, mother. That's very true. Any change in habit, you have to make baby steps. That then it becomes permanent. Trust me, I know. When you try to do it all at once, it doesn't last. Little baby steps, that works. Very nice.
Shampoo. Kusum Mataji.
Shisha to work.
Srisha already spoke. Mataji didn't speak.
No, I listened to the lecture and
No, she has to. At least one, at least 1 point you glorify your husband.
But I can advance.
Now, I have to tell you a story that when I first heard you serve devotees, so I'm thinking, oh, I go to the temple and I help in the kitchen and I do this, I help with construction, so, serve devotees, right? I mean, Makadiyama Prabhu, he does all the time, right? But then I listened to His Holiness Radhanath Swami's one lecture, and he said, you start at home. Huh?
Charity begins at home.
Yeah, charity begins at home. So you serve your devotees, start at home. So who do you live with? Your spouse. So start serving them. Be kind to them, Again, theory, excellent. Practice, questionable. But that is something, we have to start with our spouses and our children and the people around us all the time. That's where you start serving devotees. You don't have to come to Bensalem Bhakti Vriksha to start serving devotees. Make sense? Huh?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Mother?
Mukti Datri.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I offer my respectful obeisances until Lotus State.
Oh my.
So I just didn't hear the lecture. Actually, I was with my kid. So when I came, I heard that you give an example about the arranged marriage and how we grow our love for our spouses slowly. So that's how we have to grow the love for Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead. And one thing I love that you were mentioning here, when we are 60s, and then Mataji was saying even we have done our grihasthas and we do our kids grihasthas. So like that, I already decided that I will never take care of my grandkids and all. I don't want. I've already done so much.
Then talk to me in another 30 years, Mataji.
4 kids, and I didn't take care of them all, and I just don't want to take care of somebody else again. And I just want to grow my love for Krishna.
I will see you in 30 years. Huh? Now the attraction, the material attraction is so powerful. So powerful. You take the first look at your grandkid, and that little soul, that little, 6 pound, 10, 8 pound thing is smiling at you. All your determination out the window. Trust me.
That's the personal experience.
Even if your own kid, your own son or daughter is abusing you,
Yes.
you will go after because you feel so much more love to your grandkid than your own. Even if, as I said, that in between soul is not giving you the respect, you will still do. The power of Maya, the way it is designed, it is, that's why Prabhupada said in this purport, there is so much opposition to come to Krishna. There's so many things pulling you away from it. And these family connections are one of the most powerful. And we are wired like that. As a grandma, you would be, man, you know, again, our bodies tend to slow down as you age, but the attraction of the grandkids or the great grandkids is many times more than your own kids. But again, it's like some dimension. If you haven't experienced it, it's very hard to communicate it. It's one of those things. You haven't never eaten gulab jam. It's very hard to explain to you what that feels like. Same way, until you experience it personally, it's not easy to understand. Makes sense?
The next class is like how we detached, being attached.
But Prabhuji, I have one reflection that if we increase our attachment with devotees, if we associate more with devotees, it will, kind of divert our mind towards devotees, and ultimately, the devotee association can really help you survive the blow of Maya.
Absolutely. So that is what Mataji was saying. Whatever you are attached to, somehow make it in line with Krishna. You are attached to social media. Okay, listen to Maharaj lectures. You are attached to, mingling with people or whatever. To do that with devotees. You are attached to food, eat prasada. So that's what Prabhupada's technique was. Whatever you do, do it in line with Krishna.
Some superiors even say that, increase your rounds.
Yeah.
Increase your reading of the Bhagavatam.
Yeah.
And things like that. That will keep your awareness nurtured.
Yes.
So that you just don't fall. I mean, if you are still in Maya, but at least you know that this is Maya and how I can kind of deal with it.
Now, again, if you are attached to your grandkid, try to make them Krishna conscious. Tell them Krishna stories. Show them. So there are ways you can take your attachment, Krishnaize it. That's what they call Krishnaize it. Good.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Mataji, one sentence.
Yes.
Will be done in 5 minutes.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. And the important points which I liked in this class is the rarity of human birth. So the material nature is always observing how we are utilizing the birth which is given to us. I remember the famous Vaishnava bhajan, Durlabha Manava Janma Satsange Tarohe Bhava Sindhare. So very grateful to Prabhuji and all the devotees for conducting this. So in that song, the meaning is the human form is very rare, and by utilizing the saintly persons, we have to cross this material existence. Another point is the Krishna's love for us is like mother's love. In Srimad Bhagavatam also, I came across this verse that Krishna's love for us surpasses the love of millions of mothers to him.
No, but in the material world, we don't know what that means. But everyone knows our own mother's love. So we can relate to some extent. That was it.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Sure.
Thank you. Pratima Mataji.
Krishna Prabhuji,
Haribol.
what I learned today was that it's very easy in today's world to get swayed by the materialistic parts of life. But it's important to just always think of Krishna and remember that everything here is temporary and you can't let it go to our heads and you can only think of Krishna.
Excellent.
Wonderful. Thank you.
No, that's what they say. To be a human life, but being born to parents who are devotees or even some devotional inclination, that's even more rare, right? Not just any human.
That's wonderful.
Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Prabhu. You gave a very wonderful lecture.
Very good.
What you really nicely explained about all that Sanatana Dharma scriptures, starting from Vedas, Upanishads, right? Very orderly you are prescribed with the Dika. But in my realization, we have only two options. Either we can go with Maya or go with Krishna. Because we trying to go with Maya, that's what we are struggling. Everyone we are struggling. As you said, whenever we are away from Krishna, the only easiest way is keep chanting. That's what always I'm following. Because Maya is very strong, even if you go inside the Vrindavan, still Maya is not. So either we cannot fight with Maya. Rather, as Prabhupada very nicely, he gave a very wonderful package. Just follow Prabhupada. That's what my understanding. Anyway, thank you so much for your wonderful lecture.
No, but when we chant, what are we doing? What are we doing? Of course, but something more important. What are we doing when we chant?
You're hearing.
Yes, serving. It's a service. We're glorifying.
Controlling the mind.
Praying.
What stops us from coming to Krishna? What is preventing us from coming to Krishna?
Right.
Our sins, our sins, our aparadhas, our sins, knowing, unknown sins, anarthas, the things we committed, we have done before, all that stuff. When you chant, you are neutralizing those. So, Chedo Darpana Marjan, we are cleansing those sins out of our soul. When you chant attentively, we are neutralizing those sins. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Chedo Darpana Marjana. We are cleaning all that dirt out of our soul. That's what we are doing. So attentive chanting, the more we chant, the more those sins are removed, the more we become eligible to come to Krishna. Correct? Right? You have to become eligible to be near him. Correct? You want to go see Biden, but you cannot just go and get near him, right? You have to become eligible first. Correct? So, earning that eligibility with a clear consciousness and a sinless soul, that's what this chanting does for us. Make sense? That's what Srila Prabhupada, one lecture, His Holiness Radhanath Swami nicely explains this. So all the other things you said are true with chanting. Sorry, Prabhupada.
Rajesh, going through.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for
Krishna.
this wonderful class. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for a wonderful class. And also we are very grateful to you coming to the first grand opening class in our Bensalem in the cultural center.
I'm deeply honored.
Yeah, I really appreciate this, you are coming and giving your association. And then my question was, like, I see you told us, like, there is a, 7 layers in the underground. It's like all Pataluka, right? And Urduluka, there is another 7 layers, is it?
14 logas.
Total is 14.
Yeah.
But is it like, only the first floor means like our Bhuluka.
Yes.
This is, we can get it out in a, if anyone born in the Pataluka, he cannot get it out.
No, they have to be born in the human form. They have to be born in the first floor to get out, right? Then not just born, if they are a worm and in Bhuloga, it doesn't help. Work, correct? You have to be born in a human form in Bhuloga to get out.
Then like.
Because human's form is the only form which can go up or which can go down. Any other form of life, the evolution is always up. You with me?
Yeah.
Human form is the only form you get negative marks, you can go down. Or you get positive marks, you go up. Make sense? A pig, there's only one way, it always becomes a horse next life, or something, or a nice Pomeranian dog, or something, and lives in a luxury apartment in New York City with a billionaire or something. You know what I mean? So that's that's how that goes.
All right, thank you.
Done.
We hear in our Purana stories of celestial beings get cursed and come down. You heard those stories, right? So that's why acquiring the punya, sugardi or punya, that goes, and acquiring dushkriti or papa, downward spiral.
But sometimes even when we do some bias activities, for that, to enjoy that also you have to come back. So that also is kind of an obstacle. If you are doing like, charity and all that.
That's a lot of goodness.
Yeah, but then you still have to come back to enjoy.
Correct. So that's why we say you have to transcend even goodness to Shuddha Sattva. That's why the Krishna conscious principle clearly explains that. Because if you look at all the Christians and all that, they do a lot of charity and acquire the punya. So you can get elevated to, you heard this, how they get these suicide bombers in Islam?
Yeah, you will go to heaven and enjoy.
No, it's 72 huris.
Yeah.
And they describe those women. It's like our Rambha Tilotama Urvashi type of, celestial beings, amazingly beautiful virgins, not just ladies. Virgins are waiting for these suicide bombers.
Aren't they creating lust in the people by saying?
That's why it's so easily sold. Why do you think people want to convert to Islam?
But see, Prabhupada just called it a bona fide. I came across that.
No. That sells, Mataji. Why do people go to movies?
Yeah.
Sex always sells.
Yeah.
You tell a youngster, hey, this is nothing. I have 72 times waiting for you. And I even heard stories of how the suicide bomber puts steel cups so that they can enjoy their genitals are intact.
Right, it's not.
No, there are people who believe this.
Yeah, they believe something.
And there are people who blow up themselves believing this.
All the time.
Yeah. So, but it sells. It sells. If we say, if our literature, imagine how to acquire wealth, how to do Lakshmi Puja, how to do Kubera Puja. If instead of what Murali is distributing, he distributed that, this room will not have enough space to accommodate people. Correct? Isn't that true? Something to think about.
Big round of applause to His Grace Jaganath Chandra Prabhu. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for honoring my request in a very short span. Actually, yesterday I called him, Prabhuji, can you give lecture? Yes, he said, why not? You know, so. Yeah. No, thanks to, as I said, major thanks goes to Sanjay Prabhu, who at very first instance when Muralidhar Keshav Prabhu contacted him for having this center for public preaching, he said, yes, why not? Of course, we can use it for Krishna consciousness. So, thanks to him, thanks to Muralidhar Keshav Prabhu, and thanks to Jaganath Chandra Prabhu. Again, this is actually the whole purpose of this particular center is to go public, basically. So, public means that right now, practically, I just met one person, one family who came here to inquire about JEA. Actually, they were not ready to enter inside. Once they came to know that JEA timings are over, so I invited them, in the sense that they were at the door. So I told them, please come in. Now it is open for everyone. Now we are having discussion. So they inquired what it is and everything. So outside I have put a big poster. In the poster it is very clear. So they were, yeah, they were very inquisitive to know what is that. So I explained him exactly what we are doing, and they are very interested. They said they'll come next week. So this is the, so that is where, that is the whole objective actually. So if you can invite your friends, anybody, it's a generic discussion. It is not too high philosophy. It is very practical, as you saw this evening. It was completely practical examples and very much related to Bhagavatam, but still it is very practical. So anybody can implement. So please invite your friends or invite anybody whom you know. They can come. If they tell us upfront, at least for planning prasadam, it will be helpful. But even if not, we'll have enough prasadam every week, so we don't have to worry about. So this is open for all. We can easily accommodate at least 100 people here, right? Yeah. So please do that. And thanks again. And going forward, it will be Saturdays 6 to 8 p.m.
For coming today.
Hare Krishna, let's chant 3 times Haribol loudly. Haribol. Haribol. Thank you, Ed Prabhu, for coming for the first time. And I would like to see you every time. Thank you very much. So, as I said in the WhatsApp that we have to vacate by 9 p.m. Anyways, today's first day, it's okay, even if we get late. After we all have prasadam, so we have to assemble. We have to clean this hall. Clean in the sense you don't now you don't notice, but before you all came, this was completely compartment wise. All that compartments with nicely arranged benches and then desk. So we moved. Vrishabhanu helped us, to move all these things and make it a nice arrangement for everyone to assemble. So if anybody can help, stay back for 5-10 minutes. It won't take more than 10-15 minutes. So that will be very nice. And another thing is just to keep it very clean. Once we have the prasadam, okay, so whatever leftover on your plate, throw that. There is a sign there. Throw food remains here. So please throw that there and then stack the plates. There is a place called stack plates here, stack cups, place spoons, and stack bowls here. So those are all used ones because that's easy to dispose, instead of putting. So please arrange it nicely so that we can keep this place clean. Okay. Thank you very much again. Thank you, Haribol. Mahaprasade Govinde. Nama Brahmane Vaishnave. Shalpa Punyavatam Rajan. Vishwaso Naiva Jayate. Sharira Vidhyaja. Yadendriya Taheka. Jiva Fele Vishesagare. Taramati Jivati. Lokoma Sudharmati. Taki Jita Katina Samsare. Krishna Barodayamai. Kuribara Jiva Jai. Kopata Danadilabai. Yanam Bhatapao. Radha Krishna Gunagavo. Premada Koshi Chaitanya Nitai. Jainima Jainitai. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhara. class, Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Loudly, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Radha Krishna Mahaprasad ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Yeah. Thank you very much. Hari Bol. Thank you, online devotees. Hari Bol.